This is an excerpt from the book titled The Other Side of the Story by Marianne Keyes, page 211. Lily. Even though I made my choice, I shall never forgive myself. This sounds wildly melodramatic, I know, but I mean it simply as a statement of fact. There are many times, to this day, when I wish I had never met him. It's the most dreadful thing I've ever done, and even now, though we're together and have Emma, frequently I find myself in the middle of ordinary stuff, making Emma's bottle or washing my hair or whatever, and realizing that I'm still waiting for a catastrophe. Building one's happiness on someone else's misery is no foundation for long-term stability. Anton says I have Catholic guilt, but I wasn't brought up Catholic. Apparently, I don't have to be. Journalists. In my short career as an interviewee, I'd met two varieties. Those who displayed their serious credentials by dressing like the homeless, a look I inadvertently favored myself since becoming a mother, or those who appeared to spend their entire lives attending functions at foreign embassies. The one now stepping over my threshold, Martha Hope Jones from the Daily Echo, was a foreign embassies merchant. She wore a red suit with gilt buttons and braided epaulettes on the shoulders, and high shoes the precise red of her suit. I wondered how she managed that. Perhaps she'd gone to one of those wedding service places who dyed the bridesmaids' shoes the exact color of the bridesmaids' dresses. Not that I would know much about that. Welcome to my humble abode, I said, and almost bit my tongue. I so did not want to draw her attention to how humble my abode actually was, a one-bedroomed ex-council flat, which housed Anton, Emma, and me. When Oatley, my publicist, Deacon Elmery, had set up his interview, I had begged to be permitted to meet Martha in a hotel, a bar, a bus shelter, anywhere but here. But it was an at-home piece. I was left with little choice. Delightful, Martha declared, poking her nose into the kitchen and taking in two clothes horses laden with garments which were definitely refusing to dry. You weren't supposed to go in there, I flushed. Pretend you didn't see. But Martha had reached into her, same red as her shoes, bag, taking out a notebook, and scribbled something. I tried reading upside down and thought one of the words looked like pigsty. I directed her into the living room, which Anton, bless him, had tidied. Well, he'd herded 40 or 50 of Emma's squishy toys in the corner and emptied a full can of peach air freshener into the air in the hope of masking the smell of mildewing laundry. Martha plonked herself on the sofa, yelped, "Jesus!" and sprang to her feet again. We both looked at the small piece of Lego, which was the cause of Martha's painfully intended buttock. Sorry, it's my little girl's. Martha scribbled something else in the notebook. Don't you use a tape recorder? I asked. No, this is much more intimate. She brandished her pen with a smile. Yes, and she could misquote me till the cows come home. Where is your little girl? She looked around the room. At the playground with her dad, where they would remain, hogging the swings until I called them to say the coast was clear. I could not involve them in this. Martha accepted tea, refused biscuits, then the interview began. Well, you've done rather nicely for yourself, dear, haven't you? Her eyes were a little like blue marbles, rather glassy and avid. You and your Mimi's remedies. She made it sound as if I had pulled off a confidence trick on the gullible public. Nor did I know how to respond. Yes, I have done rather nicely, thank you. Would you seem arrogant? By the same token, if I shrugged, it's not as if I've invented time travel. Would she snap her notebook closed and leave? I've read part of your biog, but I'm sure you know that Martha Hope Jones's profiles are quite different from the pieces regular hacks produce. I prefer to start with a real clean slate, get to know who Lily actually is, and really get under her skin.